Okay, so it is recording now. So I'm going to go ahead and start. So you guys know, go ahead. I've got the link to this Appy Hour presentation up at the top. bit.ly/Appy Hour Pixton, Pixton. And then the sign in link to make sure that you get credit for being here, bit.ly/WC sign in. And you guys can always just go straight to the Schoology group, and I'll always have that folder there for you where you can just click the presentation instead of typing that bit.ly. And for the sign in, just say like Appy Hour Pixton is fine for the meeting name. So I will give you just a minute. To sign in. Appy Hour Pixton is fine. I keep wanting to say Nearpod because we did Nearpod a couple weeks in a row. So I keep wanting to say Appy Hour Nearpod. Brooke, while people are signing in, do you want to share your Nearpod experience?
So Monday, my projector board blew out, and so I sent a work order, and Emily said, we don't have any in stock. It'll be 7 days. Which was awful because my kids are so trained at looking at the smartboard for their bell work and like a task list and all of that. And that's how I get my notes when we're starting the unit. And so I made a Nearpod last night, and we took notes through Nearpod, so they got to see the notes and I could control where they were at in the presentation. And we did checkpoint questions. And I asked my kids, I gave them a little survey at the end, and they said they felt like they understood that so much better than any other notes we took, because they're able to interact with it throughout instead of just kind of mindlessly absorbing it until the end. So it turned out really well, and I think they got a lot out of it. So it's kind of a last-minute flexibility thing.
Yay! I love hearing stuff like that.
Yeah.
No projector, no problem. And I know you did it too, and it went well, right? With Nearpod. Awesome. Good.
When you say they're taking notes, like, is it their paper pencil and doing it like stats?
Yeah, so I do an interactive notebook because I like them to have something hard copy that they can go back and reference as we go through the course. So I gave them, we do fill in the blank notes because we're really slow.
Yeah.
And so that the presentation was on Nearpod, and then they copied down the fill in the blanks, so we had checkpoint questions. So they had to apply the notes to different scenarios.
Awesome. Yeah, so please share that in our little Appy Hour after share discussion board area so other people can go back. Yeah. Okay, so is everyone signed in? Okay, so we'll go ahead and get started. And I want to start actually with just this really quick video. And it just it's super fast and sped up, but it just shows you how easy Pixton's going to be to just like drag and drop and move around and create your digital comic. And it just has kind of this goofy music. It doesn't really. So yeah, this is super sped up, obviously, but you can see just how easy it is to make different facial expressions, move it around, add your text.
Pixton is cool. Use it as one at all at school. Pixton makes comics easy for you. Click and drag, simple. It's fun to do. Pixton is
All right. So that's enough for that. So we are going to be looking at Pixton today, obviously, for comics. And I have a lot of links because we aren't going to have as much time as I'd like, but I have a lot of links to different articles about ways that you can use Pixton in class and for different subject areas and having students create the comics and different things like that. So if we don't get enough time to kind of walk through each of those today, do know that they're in that Schoology group in the Pixton folder, all of those different articles there. So I'm going to try to pull up some today. But let's go ahead and just dive in. So So if you guys want to pull up, if you have the presentation open, you can just click this image or the Pixton, or just type Pixton.com in a new window. And I usually tell you guys that to just, like, if you're looking at a new tool, to just Google whatever the tool's name is in education, because usually they have versions and you get more stuff for an education version. Pixton is actually going to be an exception to that. If you look if you have the website up, or I have a screenshot up here, the Pixton for schools, we're actually not going to select that option, because then you have to pay. And granted, you get a lot of extra features, like where you can manage the kids' accounts and you can see everything. And I think there's a little bit more collaborating that the students can do when you use that paid version. But we're going to get started with the free version, and you and the kids could sign up using the free version and get to do everything you need to do. So you guys are going to do that bottom left, Pixton for fun. It's the blue icon, enter. And then when you get there, go ahead and I'll give you a second to sign up for a new account if you haven't already done that. And they have an app too. I haven't played around on the app, but they do have apps if your kids get into it and want to do it on their smartphone. So you guys just kind of let me know once you have that account set up. Okay. Is it making you approve it in your email?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So then don't forget to click that confirmation code. Did it already come through for most of you? Okay. Okay, yeah, so check your spam folders. Somebody's got caught in spam. Okay, so while you guys continue to sign up, I'm just going to go ahead and start walking through a little bit so that you guys can have time to do it too. Okay, so once you're logged in, account's created, you've confirmed it in your email and everything, you'll be taken to a home screen, and somebody let me know if something else is coming up in that process, because it's been a while since I've signed up for an account. So to create a new comic strip, it's so easy. So you just click the pencil icon up at the top, and then create new. And you guys tell me if you want me to wait. I'm happy to wait, but I'm just going to kind of keep going unless you tell me to stop. So pencil icon, top left, those will show you all of your comics. So once you go and you create them and you're finished, to get back to the ones that you created is the pencil icon as well. This is also where you will go to create a new comic. So after you click that create new, then you have some different layout options. Today, we're just going to look at the comic strip, which I think is probably going to be the most popular one. But I think this graphic novel, it's newer. I haven't had a chance to play with that one. It works pretty similarly. It's just a different layout on the page. But as I was looking for some examples, I found a lot of them that looked like that graphic novel layout. And I'm going to pull up some examples of different subject areas for you guys too in a minute. So you just select your layout. Today we're going to look at comic strip together. And from here, this is one of the things that I love most. Still haven't gotten your email to confirm. Will it let you do anything in Pixton yet?
No, that's okay. We can listen.
Okay. So this is one of the things that I love most about this website is the versatility. So like I am an ideas person. I have creative ideas. If I try to draw them out or create something artistically, it looks like you would never have any idea what was in my head, because I am not an artistic person at all. So in school, when we had these artsy options, it was like I had these great ideas, but I never chose those options because I never would have been able to actually like draw out the comic strip or the picture or make the poster actually look nice, whatever. So they have this beginner option where that's what we're going to focus on today, where you literally select your scene, your characters, and then you can drag and move them around and add your text, but you don't have to do a lot. For some of your more creative students, or some of your students who are more technologically savvy and different things, they have this advanced option where they literally set up everything in their comic square. Scene, background, add individual objects, all of this extra stuff. So they can get a lot more creative and in-depth. But for you guys, if you're not as creative, or kids, if they're not as artistic, this beginner option is awesome. And like I said, that's what we're going to look at today. So from that beginning option, or beginner, like I said, you choose a setting. There's all of these different settings. If you look over the left, you can kind of scroll through them, and there's different themes there. So then when you pick your overall setting, then you have some, so I chose Fantasy World in these screenshots. Then you have different scenes within that setting that you can choose from. So here's all my different Fantasy World options that I can choose from. So I selected Over the Rainbow. Then you have these default 1, 2, or 3 characters that you can choose. And so you can add more. So if you ever need to add an additional character, you can add it once you get in there. Then, okay, so I chose 2 characters, so then I choose my first character. I choose my second character, and then I'm ready to start editing. And it gives you this one pane. There's my scene that I chose. There's my 2 characters. Now I can click on them, drag and drop, move their arms, change facial expressions, click in the speech bubble, add text, all of that good stuff. And then if I want to add an additional pane, I just click this little blue icon, and then it'll give me another pane where I can do new things. My next piece of my comic strip here. And I'm going to walk out like in the website and actually do it with you guys too. I'm just kind of moving through while some of you are waiting. When you're finished, you have different options. You can save it for later, so come back and keep editing. You can download it, which is nice. They can print it. So if they weren't going to submit it to you digitally, if they needed to print it for any reason, or if you wanted to hang some of them in your room, you can print. And then the publish option is what I think most of you will want to do, like if you create one, to put it in Schoology, because you'll just get a link. So you could put it in Schoology, or you could embed it like we did with ThingLink. Or your students could submit it to you that way too. So if you were going to create an assignment in Schoology, the students could just go to that Create tab and then paste the link to their comic strip. So it just gives you a link. So you publish. So this is for the publish option. It gives you that link. That's how students could submit it to you, with that link. Or again, you can choose the embed code option and then embed it in the page, and I put those steps there for you too. So I want to show you just a few examples, and then we'll actually go through so you guys can quickly just create one. But I wanted you to see some examples. So this is a math example. It's a comic about slope. So you'll have to excuse me, I'm not a math person, but this was just a real quick search for a math concept that I found. And so just to show you kind of this clever way that a student turned math concepts and slopes into a comic. This is a physical science where they're talking about Newton's laws, and the 2 girls are comparing it to the soccer ball and talking about how Newton's laws apply to the soccer ball. That's cute. This was a book report. So for English, having students, it pretty much, if you're a Twilight fan like me, it pretty much walks you through that whole first movie, and they just picked out some of the biggest, most important scenes and made a comic out of it. Here, Boston Tea Party. So here the students pretty much picked out all of the most important things with the Boston Tea Party and made it into a comic strip right here. And this might be that graphic novel layout too. And oh, that's just the website. So there's just a few examples just to give you an idea of just some of the different ways and the different subject areas that you can use these comics. So let me log in here. Okay. So before I walk through it online, have you guys gotten your email yet? So you guys have, you have, okay, so you should have, and it's not in your spam? Can you pull up Pixton for me? Which one did you see if you can? Yeah, you can try that. Okay. I'm going to keep going then, and I can always help you guys in a minute. So if everybody wants to go up to the pencil icon, if you're in there, and then you can hit the Create New button. And we'll choose comic strip for now. And we're also going to choose beginner for now. So pencil, create new, comic strip, beginner. And then you can choose whatever scene you want. So if you've got something that you can use this comic with your kids coming up soon, go ahead and pick that setting and actually start working on it. Save you some time. I'll do talk show. Then you pick your scene, and I'll give you guys just a minute to choose your setting in your scene. It did work with your Gmail account? Okay, so you did it too. Is that what you guys use?
Yep.
Ah, okay. So everyone's Gmail account worked for the Pixton, not the not westclair.org. My.westclair.org worked.
It still went to spam, but
You were able to retrieve it. Okay. Okay, so Kendra, if you had any trouble creating an account, the my.westclair.orgs are working. It's going to spam still, but it's at least showing it to them so they can get to it. And then you can pick how many characters you want, and then actually choose those characters. And then it'll load up your first pane. I'm going to zoom in. Maybe I'm not. And you guys let me know when you're kind of at this spot where you've got your scene and your characters chosen. Okay. All right. Are you guys there?
I'm getting it.
Okay. No problem. Okay, so when you want, it will automatically put that speech bubble there for each character that you have. So like if you have 2 characters, it's going to give you 2 speech bubbles. So to type in the speech bubble, you just double click, and then it'll give you a cursor where you can start typing. And then if you click off of it, if you want to like drag it around, put it in a different spot, you can just click once on it to drag it around and move its location. So pretty much everything in here works with clicking and dragging. So let's say I wanted to move the position of my character. I can click on that character once. There's a couple different options. First, if you see when I click on them once, then down at the bottom, I have a couple extra little options that pop up. That the one that looks like a little icon that's running, those are preset poses. So if I click that, I have some different poses that I can flip through and see if one of these are going to fit my needs. So let's say I want this guy actually walking on his hands. So I can just quickly select a pose that's already done out for me. And then just like our speech bubble, I can click once and then drag my character around too. Then another one of the preset options, that face looks like an angry emoji when I've selected my character. If I select that, there's some preset facial expressions too. So that might make it really easy to go through and pick a face. Then let's say, okay, I want him doing a handstand, but I really want to move one of his legs. You just click, double click, and then the section of the character that you're going to move will light up in green. So like now I'm going to move his thigh, and so it will show me that I'm moving the thigh. So I can pull it over, and then if I want to move the bottom half of his leg, I have to click the bottom half of his leg, and then I can drag that around and move that around. Now I want to move the other leg down. And that's how it works just for each of the body parts. So if there's not a preset body position, you can move it around just part by part exactly how you want it. And it's pretty fast. And then like you can select, you know, like the head and spin the head around back and forth. If you double click on the character, then you get these green options up at the top where you can zoom in. So if you wanted to zoom in and like, let's say this was a book report or, you know, like social studies, and they're trying to make this look like an actual historical figure or an actual character or something, then they can actually get in there and get down closer into there to rearrange some things. And for some of the options, you might have to do that advanced option to change around some of those colors there. Zoom back out. Then if you click completely off of your pane, you'll get back to those original options. That yellow icon with the face to the left, that's how you can add an additional character right there. And then if you wanted to change the background, so some of them, like, you know, if you wanted like this red cow, something big just happened, you could add that to one of your panes and you could switch it up a little bit. Then when you're ready to add your next pane or panel, you just click that blue plus sign. And it'll add that panel. Green check mark to save it. Then you can start working on it. Same thing we did before. Now he's going to lay down on the couch. Double type in your speech bubble. And you can just keep adding panes. Or panels. Sorry, I keep calling them panes. They call them panels. So then when you're finished, since we only have a few minutes left, I just want to make sure to walk you through the whole publishing thing. If you just scroll down just a little bit, that's where those save options will be. So if you need to save it, you want to download, print it, or if you want to publish it, the blue publish button. When you click that, you have to give it a name. I'll just call mine Appy Hour Practice. And then if you see where it says tags categories, you do have to give it a category in order to publish it. So that's just that it'll stop you and say, hey, add a category. But so you got to give it a category. So we'll say it was drama. He's being pretty dramatic. And then the blue Publish Now button up at the top. And then right here, this is where that link, this is what you're going to want to copy and let's say like paste as a link in Schoology if you were making one for your kids. If your kids were making one as an assignment to turn into you, this is the link that they'd want to copy. And then just either, you know, if you were doing a discussion board, they could just paste it there on their discussion board, or they could hit the Create tab in Assignments and paste the link right there, however you were going to do it. But that's the link. And then for those of you who remember embedding with ThingLink, like if you wanted to embed the comic onto a page, this little brackets right there would give you the embed code. And then it's the same process. You click the embed code. You go back to Schoology. It logged me out. And you would use a page. And if you don't want to embed, don't worry, you don't have to. You can share it with the link. So you can just kind of tune me out for a second. I'm just walking through it to show you. Those two, and use the page material type, those two dots in the right. You click to switch to HTML. You paste that code. And then you create the page. Let's double check it. And then there you go. It's embedded right into the page instead of a link that they have to click to get to it. So those are kind of your two options for sharing it with students or having students share it back with you. That embed option won't work for them on a Schoology page. They don't have the ability to embed on a Schoology page. If you're using any kind of wiki with them, or you know, like class website or something that they had the ability to edit and code, then they could use it, but pretty much they're going to want to use that link down at the bottom. And then that's pretty much it. After you create them, if you want to go back to edit later, you just click the pencil and it takes you back there. You can also, if I'm on the home screen, is it the home screen? No. There we go. Sorry. So those three horizontal lines in the very top left, if I click that and then comics, then I can search. So if you just want to start off searching for some that are in the public gallery, you can do that. And they also have a lot of great features. When you are first choosing your layout, if you notice, select the language of your comic. So if there's any ESL teachers or foreign language people, you can do a comic in a different language too, which is nice. And they also have a lot of great help videos as well. And in our Appy Hour group, in the Pixton folder, let me just pull it up to point out some of these things to you guys. I put the link like to Pixton's how-to YouTube channel. So I always think it's easier to watch a video on how to do something, and they've got great resources like how to do every little thing. So when you get going, if you're like, hey, I want to get a little bit more advanced, or your kids are trying to get more advanced, I put the link directly to their YouTube channel with all of their how-to videos. And then, like I said, I've got 4 different, 3 different links here for you with different resources on how you can use comics in the class and different examples of some students' resources, some professors from Clemson that talked about their students using Pixton. Any questions that you guys have for me right now on it? No? What do you guys think? Do you think it'll be an easy tool for them, for kids to use? Yeah. Yeah, like this would be one that I'd probably use more as like tell the kids to create things rather than me necessarily creating things with this tool. But it's, you know, sometimes it's helpful if you do it once and use it as an example for them to see that it's an option. Cool. Well, you guys are welcome to stay, but we've got 3 minutes left, so I'll be here finishing up and working on things. But if you don't have any questions, then that's really kind of the bird's eye view of this tool. So thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Yeah, and if you would, I will post the, to vote on next week's tool before I leave here today, so you guys can vote on that in the Appy Hour group. And then if you have a few minutes, actually we'll take the last, I guess, 2 minutes. And if you would just fill out like the feedback here. And if you guys ever have any requests, please, by all means, like make the request for that particular tool. You can do it in the feedback. You can just shoot me an email. Whatever you want. If you want to see a particular tool at an Appy Hour, or if there's something that, you know, hey, I'd really like, you know, something for my students with writing, or, you know, even if you don't know the specific tool, just tell me that kind of the idea that you're trying to get to. And if I don't know something already, I'll do some research to try to find something that will accomplish that. It is.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for coming. You guys have a happy Friday. Yeah. Okay. Kendra, I'm going to stop the live broadcast, but you and I will still be connected in the chat.